So this second phase of my life, of when I started to invest in real estate, I brought in the character development that I had from the other phase of my life, and I researched intensely. Then I would pray because I believed that providence would guide me, and then I would seize the opportunity when it was presented. And this happened in Hawaii, this happened in Madeira, this happened here, this happened in Panama, here on the coast side of Northern California. And in Panama, I didn't execute. And those were mistakes or failures in a sense, because my fear got in the way of me executing on those great opportunities. Okay? But what I'm trying to tell you is some color to the development of investing and the style of investing that I got, and just show you some of the real life examples, and just show you there were failures of not executing and there was success in executing. And I don't let the failures hold me back. I move forward with the success, right? Like right now, we could be sitting here talking about my large development in Panama, but I don't have it because I didn't execute on that, right? And so instead, we're going to go, we see my places in Portugal, which, to be honest, I'm happy for the providence that unfolded, because I love Madeira Island. Panama's great, but I love Madeira Island. And so this is that new phase. So when I think of investing in this phase, at the end of the day, I was doing a lot of different investments, but I made most of my money and had most of my joy in oceanfront or ocean-related properties that provided cash flow, or land. To be honest, I love land too. So that's really the number one thing that I have to offer my kids and anyone else to bless. Is kind of how the character I've developed and the spiritual foundation that I've had and the life that I've lived. And like, I'm not like here preaching or something. I'm saying like I literally prayed and I literally did this and these things literally happened. It's really like I'm testifying to what actually happened, right? So these things that happened, they were blessings to us, but there were many things that were failures, and it bothers me that I didn't execute on certain things, but then I let it go. And then I focus on the joyful reality of what I gained on the decisions that I did make. So, I'm going to go back to something that for some of you, it might be kind of boring or, I don't need to know that. But I just have to go with what I know as wisdom at this point in my life at 45 years old, which is, the experiences that I went through and the choices that I made. I always was trying to pursue like experiencing joy and blessing, joy for myself and my family and blessing to others. So when you make failures, I don't defeat myself. I don't beat myself up more than like a day, right? I think it's okay to beat yourself up for a day, for a little while. It's like when you play sports, if you lose, you might be upset for a little while. If you lose in business and you miss an opportunity, you might be upset for a little while. We're all human. It's natural. But then overcome it, right? Again, that character development, like overcome it. Recognize that you are still blessed. You still have opportunity. You still have great things before you. Like, I can't say enough about the value of that. You got to be tenacious, consistent, and persistent, and never give in, and always believe, and see the good, and not focus on the bad, and not be a negative Nelly, not be a worry wart. Like that is not going to help you ever, right? So these are things that I went through, and where I'm at now, well, I shouldn't say where I'm at now. So let me keep building the foundation. So that in the early phases of investing, like let's think, you guys, if you were to go back in time and say, okay, 2002 to 2006, right? I invested in gold, for example. I bought gold. I did research on the banking system, on the monetary system, and I realized it's inflationary and there was issues with it, and that gold was a good investment. My gold went up in value because of that research that I did, because that's true, right? I invested in land. I invested in property. I invested in cash flow properties that were near the ocean so I could enjoy them, so that when there was a downturn after 2006, I was holding oceanfront property in a location I loved that I knew had cash flow potential once I developed it. So we secured more land around that one house I bought. We turned it into 4 units, right, that are, luxury, but not high-end luxury, but luxury oceanfront rentals. Our intent was to live in one and rent the other 3 and live happily ever after, and maybe buy a few more properties and keep it going. But monkey wrench came into our life, which this is what your character development helps you prepare for. Our daughter got meningitis, almost died. My wife made the decision, which was wise, to take her back once her life was saved in the hospital in Madeira, thanks to that doctor there. We came back to California because Stanford Hospital had the best doctors for the issue she had. She lost her hearing in one ear. And my family came back to America before I did, because I had to finish the project of that property that we had there. But the point that I'm bringing up is, I had made a plan, I was executing the plan, monkey wrench came in, blew the plan completely up. I was tempted to sell the property, but knew that was not wise at the time because the market had crashed worldwide. And reason I had gone to Madeira is because I knew it would be a safer market when the market crashed, because more people bought properties with cash than taking big loans. And so my properties didn't really go down in value, but I didn't want to sell them because it was an illiquid market. It was not a good time to sell. So I had all my cash invested in the property and in the development of that property. So when my family came back to America, this is like 2012, 2013, we had virtually $0 because the amount of money it cost to go back and the money I was putting into the property to finish it so we could get cash flow from it. So effectively, we had $0 back in America, almost like immigrants coming into America after 7-8 years abroad. And we were starting at ground zero, even though we had the property in Madeira. Okay? So when we came back here, I remember, my family came back before myself. My family stayed with my parents. We had 4 kids at the time. My parents graciously allowed us to move in so they could go to Stanford. My daughter could go to Stanford Hospital. And then when we're here, all of a sudden, I shouldn't say all of a sudden, I was still in Portugal. So when I came months later to California, I just had to take whatever work I could get to just pay bills and to get out of my parents' house, right? So that's what I had to do. And so in that next phase, that's when I decided to get my real estate license while I was working 2 jobs. We had food stamps. We were like poor, right? And I had to start from there and build up. Got my real estate license. Once I got my real estate license, I did not become a rock star in 6 months. I planned and prodded and learned and got mentored and listened and planned and strategized how to develop the right kind of a business for me, because there's 20,000 ways to be a realtor, and I don't have the only way to do it. But I do think, especially with a strong-minded person like me, I got to do it a way that I feel comfortable and feel good about. And so I came up with that plan after a while. So in year 2, I started making decent money. Year 3, I made really good money. I doubled my income. And then year 4, I doubled and doubled and doubled the income year by year, because I created a system where I could grow my business. Okay? So what I did is, what I'm saying is, I had the investing, I learned the investing, I got my goal of the oceanfront property with cash flow. A monkey wrench gets put in my life, brought back to California, back to square one, build myself back up, work hard, 2 jobs, become a realtor, learn the ropes with that, build my way of doing real estate as a realtor, and then double my money each year. Then get to where we were number 2 team in Sotheby's, in the Sotheby's San Carlos office, and and then we went to EXP, which is a great company, and we're an icon agent with EXP, and we're doing great. But the point is that I would never have become a realtor had I not had that monkey wrench that got me off of living in Madeira. Now, I'm not saying one thing's better or not, or whatever. I mean, in my heart, I'd rather just be in Madeira and have a good life. But I came back, and then I became very successful with the real estate, and my wife became a realtor, and we're a real estate team, and then we're growing our team, and it's become like a blessing for us and for our family and our friends. So now we have an investment side of our business, we have a realtor side of our business, and now we've developed a management side of our business. So we have 3 different businesses that are operating, and we're making money with each of these businesses. Now, I'm not saying that you need to go out and do that. I'm just saying that they're all 3 avenues you can take to make income. And one thing I definitely will say that never was told to me when I was young, but I would tell it to every young person, every person, but is try to find a variety of sources of income, not just one, and try to find more that are passive than you involving your work. So that's one reason, in a nutshell, and I could go more into it if people wanted to know more, but the reason I went to EXP from what I thought was the best brokerage, which was Sotheby's, I went to EXP because they offer 3 different ways to make money, and they take the least of my money. So once I was secure within how my model worked, whatever brokerage I was with, I was more of a free agent who was ready for the best opportunities. So EXP was the best opportunity, and as far as I know to this day, it's the best opportunity because of the ways you can make income in more than one way. Well, the same thing, passive income can come through like recruiting at EXP with the revenue share. Passive income comes now through our ocean properties that we short-term rent, the cash flow we get off those properties, right? And you can have stocks with dividends that give you passive income. So you want to get some passive income, and then you want to develop businesses that run themselves. So we developed a business in Madeira, our management company over there, and it pretty much runs itself. Runs itself meaning we have very capable people who are running that business, and then we only have to check in once a month or whatever.